Player 1 hat confirmed.
Oh man, we're gonna have some fun today. I can feel it. Let's get things started. We're right over here, right? Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is January 29th, 2026, and we're gonna write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? Hello. Good to see you. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn. I hope you're doing well. You like the hat? My player one hat. There you go. I am Ready Player One. Quite literally, I am Ready Player One, right? Like that's a thing. And I'm feeling it. It's cool. I like it. I'm trying to dial in the LinkedIn feed. I hope folks are having a great time wherever you're tuned in and watching. I can't get comments from LinkedIn flowing through to restream over here, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on things over there. What do you mean I'm not connected to the internet? What? No, YouTube's telling me that I'm not connected to the internet. Like, I don't think you understand how this works. There we go. Now I can see our YouTube. Fantastic. All right. Hey, thanks for the pin drop there. There we go. In the Netherlands, we'll add another pin for that. Absolutely. See, I got things started a little bit too soon and missed out on all the things. I am streaming into the void. It's just a thing. So, how you doing there? Is it Jurgen Groot? Hello, welcome. Yeah, we've got pins being dropped on the map over here. I'll let it zoom in. There you go. So you can see we've got a couple friends in Europe. Patty Boyd dropping a pin there in Glasgow, and I saw, of course, we have Melbourne for C# Titan. I hope you're feeling better. All right, we'll drop into Doncaster. Hello, Phil. Good to see you. Eric's watching on YouTube. How's it going there? Let me see. Ragged Reese, Lurkies. All right, that's cool. Napalm, how you doing there in Pittsburgh? It is so cold here today. We're at 8 Fahrenheit today. Oh, it is so cold, my friends. So cold. So we're dealing with a little bit of that. There we go. And it's I think we're getting better responsive interactions from the map. I need to get this filling more of the screen though. That still feels a little weird. Like even if I zoom it a little bit, like that's better, but there we go. It's 4 in Pittsburgh. Oh man, yeah, we're living in a freezer. We are, dear Lord. Let me get some music playing in the background here. I'm gonna go with the Stream Beats Synthwave playlist. I'm gonna scroll way down here towards the bottom of the list to get us started. Let's start here. Alter Ego. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out at streambeats.com. There's all kinds of genres available. Synthwave, EDM, rock, R&B. Check it out. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. Hey, is it Piguat? Welcome. Yep, we dropped a pin for you there in Austria. So, and remember, the pins aren't 100% accurate. They're purposely, they only go to 2-digit precision, so they'll be near the town, the country that you share, and we'll get it pinned there. Greetings from Greetings. What? What? I do not think that means what you think it means. I'm going to yank that one. Because that's weird, man. How you doing, Thindall? Good to see you. Yeah, greetings. It dropped a pin on greetings. What is that? So, Ergenrot in Orlando. Oh, it's cold in Orlando, too. How you doing there, McNets? Good to see you. I hope you're having a great day in Barcelona. Yes, there's a place called Greetings. Who knew? Who knew? I've got a couple pairs of gunner glasses. I've got 2 pairs of gunner glasses that I've got to check out here. I wanted to wait and open them with you here on stream. Iris from Crete. Oh, I bet it's nice and warm there today. Here in Philadelphia, we still have about a foot of snow on the ground, right? That's like 20 centimeters. And man, it is cold, right? 8 degrees Fahrenheit, that's what, like -5 Celsius, something like that. Ooh, it's too warm for this time of year. You shut up, Harris. I don't want to hear it. Dear Lord. Off to another lunch meeting. Have a good one, Eric. Let me head over. I'm going to go to the big screen. And, yeah, laughing at us people in the cold, I tell you. So this one, let me open this first one. This is, this first pair of gunner glasses, right? And remember, there's links to my gunner profile below. I am a gunner, ambassador, influencer. You can get 15% off gunner glasses, computer glasses, amber glasses. They also have sunglasses, prescription glasses. Mrs. C Sharp Fritz actually took one of my coupons and she got her regular glasses, her regular prescription glasses made by the folks at Gunner, and they're fantastic. These ones that I'm going to put on here, these are the Mandoino. So they're coming in red boxes now. And of course, when you open it up, right, little felt inside jammy there, they all come with fantastic cleaning cloth. I've got a pile of those cleaning cloths now. I try to keep them with the glasses though. Nice bag that the glasses come in, let's check these out. Oh my. And they have a little bit of, right, a little bit of plastic on them to protect the arms. But I love the thin wire glasses. Oh yeah. That's pretty good. I like those. I like those. These might get into a regular wearing cycle here. So yeah, these are let me make sure I read it right again, because the text on this is kind of weird. I thought it was Mendocino, Midnight Blue. So the arms on this are Midnight Blue. You can see it there, right in the frame. Looks, yeah, looking sharp. Thanks. I see what you did there. So I like these. I do like they're nice and wide. There isn't too much curve on it, so there's a little bit of breathing room here on the sides. Nice. I like this. I can see sharp. But the next pair of glasses are ones that I ordered back in December. As soon as they told us they were available, I put in my order. There were a few of us that were like, I need that. That looks amazing. Our friend Ellieface, I didn't even get the email and read it yet, and she was already sending me messages on Discord. You gotta see this one, Fritz. Okay, this is the Fallout Brotherhood of Steel glasses. Let me open this one up. Oh. Look at this. Look at that. Metal case. Right? Right, check that out. Fallout and Gunner. And Fallout and Gunner printed on the other side. So, oh, look at this presentation. Look at that. The Brotherhood of Steel logo. Let me take out. So the cleaning cloth. Oh man. All right, hang on. I'm just going to take out the cleaning cloth. I want you to see how the bag is presented. Look at this. Look at that. What's his character's name in the show? I forget. Like, I always look at him and I'm like, oh, that's the dude who runs around in the armor. I forget his name. Like, they don't really use their names that much. But, and then the back, Fallout and Gunner, man. They do a amazing job with these partnerships. So then check it out. It's got the Brotherhood of Steel logo on the glasses case. And Fallout and Gunner printed on the other side of the bag. Let's open up this, John. This is so cool. This is so cool. Okay. Okay. These are that same Interceptor style, but look at the steel and look at the etching on the steel. Right? Oh my lord. And nice and thick there. Yeah, another Fallout. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're a little bit big for my style. Right? They're a little bit large. So cool. Oh man, I'm gonna stick with these for a little bit. And then we'll switch back over to the Mendocino. So, Fallout glasses. These are the new Brotherhood of Steel. My 15% off coupon will not, it does not give you a 15% off on the brand new partnership glasses like this one. If you use my link though, they still compensate me a little bit. But the Mendocino ones I was showing you earlier, you can absolutely get those on the Gunner website. Really good stuff. I am like a kid with a new toy. Seriously, I've got so many pairs of Gunner glasses now. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I need to start getting these as sunglasses. And I did that with the right, with the one set of Overwatch glasses. I'm forgetting his name now. Right? this character. I forget his name. Oh my gosh. Reaper. The one pair of Reaper glasses. I think I have them in my laptop bag so that when I'm traveling I have a nice small compact. Oh no, they're right here. How many pairs of Gunner glasses do I have? I think I've got like 25? Like, I've got a few. I've been doing this with Gunner since 2019. Yeah, here we go. So I've got the Reaper sunglasses. So I actually did get a pair of the Diablo ones. And I gifted them to Mrs. C Sharp Fritz. So there's that. All right. So I'm going to keep hanging on and wearing these. Jeremy with the resub.
Jeremy Knight _me just resubscribed for 64 months. Love
64
catching a
months.
Fritz stream.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Yeah, 64 months. I appreciate the support for the stream. You can get them in. I didn't look to see if you can get these in prescription. Probably. Like, you can get most of their glasses as prescription. There's the Vault 33. Those are the ones. Yeah, there we go. I want to see that one. That one. So, yep. You can get them as prescription and you can get them as sunglasses. So, yeah. If you click through and use my link below, and they drop me a couple shekels for you placing that order. So, if you do that, you know, I really appreciate it. It's a great way for you to support me and the channel without actually sending me money, and it comes off of taking care of your eyes. So we did some work previously with the map. There we go. Ravnos, how you doing in Miami? Dropping a pin there. Look at that. We've got 2 Floridians today. Look at that. And the tour should be a little bit better at naming. There we go. Northwestern Europe. Okay. And then we have a Florida tour stop. Good. Pittsburgh, and then jumped over to Texas, and then Melbourne. Still bounced a little weird in there. There's Austin. It's got a location cute. Pueblo. Yeah. And Austria. It's not jumping quite right. It should be queuing the new messages coming in, and it's not queuing them. Yeah. Right. So, very cool. Look at that. We got Indianapolis in there. Cary? Look at that. We got Cary in there. Mm-hmm. You will find the flaw in my program one day. Stay tuned. That might come up.
There's a crack in the wall of your architecture.
Is there?
Not metaphorical. Actual structural problems.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks. I'm not sure. I should have been getting that text. Yeah. That should be appearing on screen, and I'm not seeing it. Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. Oh my goodness, Creep Tumor. That's right near me. Mm-hmm. I'm out near Valley Forge. So, let's do another quote just to see if I can make sure that...
They called me a madman for predicting your compilation errors.
Did they?
And what I predicted came to pass.
It's still not showing. Why isn't it showing? Let's do C3PO. I did that wrong. Hey, Ionescu.
I should have known better than to trust the logic in that function. Now we're in terrible danger.
It's not visible. Why? Like, that browser source is visible, but for some reason it's not showing. Hey, we'll drop a pin for you in Denmark. How you doing there? Sarab, welcome. I don't know why I'm not getting anything. Nah, it's not the layering in OBS. I've got it already moved to the top. I've got a bunch of custom CSS in here, and I didn't change anything. Let's see, who else can we, let's trigger the doctor. Or not. Am I on a global cooldown? I am.
I'm the doctor. I've been debugging for 900 years. Your code. I've seen worse. Not much worse, but worse.
Okay. I don't know why it's not showing. Like,
Lucille says, when in doubt, just add more duct tape. I think you could use some.
Oh, could I? No, that's not it. I paste that in and
I've calculated your odds of successful deployment. You're not going to like it? Then again, I don't like anything.
okay. I don't know why the CSS isn't working. Smirking Squiggly.
Smirking_squiggly just resubscribed. For 34 months, there once was a coder of might, who toiled through the deep of the runes of C# fair, and AI in the air, he wrought code that shone ever bright.
Thank you so much for the poem. Smirking Squiggly. I need to like collect these and put them somewhere. That's very kind. Thank you. Why? I'm looking at my... I'm gonna... If I take out this CSS this custom CSS that I have, like, what do we get? Does it start? Because I've got a lot of custom CSS in here.
I've been running since the stream started, Fritz.
Oh, have you?
Unlike your application, I haven't crashed once.
Jeez. Okay. Wow. I'm going to cut that out of there. Drop over here somewhere. Paste that in. Like, see, it should just fade out like that. Who else do we have here?
Unfortunately, no one can be told what good architecture is. You have to see it for yourself.
It's literally like, it's just not going to show. I don't get it. No, I don't have Skeletor. That's not one. Okay. No, I'm not gonna tinker with it anymore. I'll figure it out some other time. So, is it Fluent UI Blazor components? Nope. No, it's not. The map. That's Leaflet. That's Leaflet.js. So that no classics. Well, nobody suggested Skeletor until just now. So Icebox New York City didn't pick that up. These are not prescription. No, these are the Gunner Brotherhood of Steel glasses. I just opened them literally 2 or 3 minutes before you came on. You tuned in there, Josh. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about and dig into with our Blazor WebForms components. I've done a bunch of work with the AI to build and tweak and do more with that. So I want to show you what we've evolved there so far, because I think that's starting to get interesting. And quite frankly, with the help of the agents, it's really landing well. Have a good one, Chris Funk. Good luck in your meeting. So look at hit the tour. Let's see how it does this time. So Round Rock, Texas, we'll get that dialed in. So and there's Melbourne, and it should hit that queue and peel off and place Round Rock and tour through at that point. So I did a bunch of great work on the Blazor WebForms components. We'll take a look at that, go through, and I want to update the website. There's a handful of new components that I finished. I've got a couple more that are queued up that I'm ready to publish and show off. Let's see, add Indianapolis. I'm gonna clear that out. Update that. Cary, there we go. And then go to Finland. Yup. Matey? Where did Matey come from? What is that? Denmark, sure. And then see, it should zoom back in on Round Rock, but no. Ooh. Yeah, dropped a pin for the Netherlands there. There we go. Cyprus? Sure. How you doing there, John? So, London? Absolutely. How you doing there, Haliatus Vocifer? Oh! We should have gotten a third pin on the Netherlands there. That's weird. Like it should have peeled off the emote on the end there. I'm gonna have to do some more work on that ordering and how it goes through there. How's it going there, Exceldro? Welcome. I've got a browser component that is just not showing today. Like, even though there's content on it, it isn't showing anything in OBS. So I'm fighting that a little bit. So coding C# with Java in a cup. How's that work? Oh, with Java. I see what you got there. I see what you did there. I got a little Java as well. Let me head over and show you and reintroduce the Blazor WebForms Components project. We'll start up here and dial back in. So the idea, this is a collection of Blazor components that emulate the ASP.NET WebForms controls, right? ASP.NET WebForms, it was the first web framework that was made available by the .NET team so that you could build web pages. All kinds of components, and there were like 40, 50 components, and you can see that list of components here on the README. And we've been slowly creating and adding these components, but in Blazor format. So they work with our current UI architectures and frameworks. That set of tools.
The good news is your compilation succeeded.
Oh, good.
The bad news is I've been lying about the good news. Also, the cake is a lie.
Well, okay, there's that. Yeah, that text is not coming through at all. Like, I'm going to... Like, nothing changed in this.
You have no regard for number placement.
It didn't use the right voice, but that... And now it comes through. Oh, I had an overflow hidden on that. That's right. I have no regard for number placement. You're right. I didn't update to OBS, and I wonder if it's now actually interacting with overflow. But yes, there are mom quotes in the mix. I'll go back to a Thanos quote.
I ignored my destiny once. Cannot do that again. Even for you at Sharpfritz, I'm sorry.
I gotta get some of this layout right. There we go. Did it add Exceldro to the map? No. Like, location set, Netherlands. There we go. And now we got a 3. So there we go. Terrific. I'm going to move on. So we've been working on these components, and as we've been adding components, we've been adding links to their documentation pages so that you can take that existing markup for WebForms and get the exact same syntax, but in Blazor, just drop the ASP colon. And it works. So we have, let me catching up on a couple things here. C# Josh in New York City. Let's do a location set on him. New York City. There we go. And this is actually working out really nicely. We have a test website out here. It's a live sample running on Azure. It's not very well styled, but it has a bunch of these components in here that you can click into and you can see and work with. So I've been enhancing and adding more and more of the components, the missing components there. There we go. Walter, how you doing? Dropped a pin in Knoxville. What are you doing way over there, man? So I've been introducing and adding more of the components, and when I next deploy, we're going to have a bunch of new features added over here to the tree view. And I think the tree view needs a couple of tweaks here in the order that things are presented. But it's not bad. It works. How you doing there, Sean? Daytona Beach? Oh man, the Floridians are strong today. Look at this. Love it. So I've been implementing and getting more. Oh, there you go. Copenhagen. How's it going there, Tension? So I've been updating, adding, and getting more of these components working. And you can see things like this, where I've just delegated it to Copilot and said, go implement this component. And it comes back. Go ahead, come on. And I don't want to scroll all of this, but it wrote some documentation. It generated some samples for working with the text box. Some enums to support the features that are there. And even updated my documentation page so that it adds the text box into the mix there. And even updated the README to put a link in to the editor controls. So this is really, really helpful what it's building here. Hey, M. Pulowski, how you doing there in Marysville, Washington? There we go. And Lake Titicaca, really? You I don't even... Is that... Oh, Sarab, I'll come back to your comment here in a second. I missed that. And Jeremy with a question. Is it a lake in Bolivia? Yep. There it is. So, filling out the map. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chuck with a watch streak. Let me go to this question. Look at that. My lower thirds aren't showing up either. The overflow hidden. Hint. There we go. You learned C# via Coursera Microsoft courses. Now you'd like to explore Blazor. Fantastic. You're making a web app which uses component drag and drop and connect. Is that possible in Blazor? You betcha. Yes. The trick with doing drag and drop in Blazor is if you're doing it with the server side components, you need to make sure that you implement correctly all of the methods on drag, on drop, and I think there's a third event in there that you need to implement. Works really nice. The other side that you can do is you can wire up your Blazor components with the JavaScript drag and drop events and use those. So that works for this as well. Okay. Big thanks for the question. Good luck to you. There we go. And it's showing a vertical scroll bar there. It's supposed to be. It's not hidden. What is it? It's overflow, not hidden. There's overflow auto, overflow scroll. Yeah, overflow hidden. But things that are overflow hidden, it's actually hiding entirely. Jeremy with a question here. Let me go to this one. Did ASP.NET Forms have the calendar built in, or was that a Telerik component that I used way back when? If there was one, will that be one you add? I'm so glad you asked that question, because... Oh, come on. Really? There was a calendar component. So we will be generating that and putting that into the mix. It is on one of my next list here to implement. We are going to get to the calendar component. So you will have a similar calendar component in Blazor. Yes. Thanks for the question, Jeremy. Walter with a question here. I'll go to this one. How hard is it to incrementally move an existing .NET Core 10 MVC application with JavaScript to Blazor? That's kind of a loaded question. You're working with MVC, so you've already got components that are written in Razor markup. Changing that so it's now using Blazor is... It's a migration. It's a UI change. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how long it would take. It's not going to be hard. The things that you have right now in controller actions, MVC controller actions, you're going to move those into code blocks on the page, and you're probably going to be implementing them in an on-initialized event handler. And how you handle post. The post action that you would have handled in the controller, you're going to want to figure out where you want to place that, because instead of post doing something in a controller, instead that button that you're clicking to submit a form that was doing a post, you're going to instead put in a button click event handler and execute that same code. So it's not hard. You're going to learn the various components and the metaphors for how these things work together and stitch that together. So there isn't any kind of migration for MVC to Blazor that's available. You might be able to go MVC to Razor pages a little bit more easily, but it's still a bit of a rewrite. So... can I the link to the page? Yeah, I can show you. The Blazor WebForms Components page is right there. So there isn't a migration on that. Napalm comments, I'm surprised Microsoft hasn't started training AI models on different migration methodologies to automate most of the process. Okay. There is a migration and modernization summit coming up in March. Tune in. The GitHub Copilot upgrade assistant that's in Visual Studio does do a bit of migration by itself for you. You can train an agent with Copilot to do that type of migration from MVC to Blazor or MVC to Razor pages. Those interactions with Copilot, very doable. Here, I'll go to this. In a situation like MVC to Blazor, would I suggest WASM client, a WebAssembly client, or one of the interactive interactions? MVC is already a server-side rendered interaction, so I would start with server-side interactive. WebAssembly is a render mode for Blazor that I would use specifically only when you need that rich interaction on the server. And you can actually layer the two pieces together. You can do some things server side and have like an island, a block of WebAssembly, high fidelity interactivity that runs as part of a page in the browser. That's very doable and easy to interact with. And I have several web pages that do that right now. And nobody's the wiser that they're actually executing WebAssembly code when they're on that web page. So I would lean towards server until you start needing highly interactive things where server interactive isn't fast enough for you, or you need to run offline. You're currently not running offline because your MVC and stuff's running on the server. So I would go to server interactive first. All right. Thanks for the question. Really appreciate it. Of course, all the questions that you see me bring up here on stream, they're visible and linked in my Discord. You can get there and take a look at that. You have a Blazor web app in auto mode. Certain components are WASM and server. Yes, I still have a little bit of concern about how auto mode renders and returns and interacts. There's a lot of promise there, and I prefer to have more control over that. That's just me. You run Blazor with backend for front end because no token in the browser. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get it. Totally agree, Eddie. So I've been unleashing and having the agents build and work with things here. We've had this issue about add rotator literally for 5 years. Hanging out here. And where's the fixes? Here it is. Add rotator throws a strange error when you go to the code samples page. See, I get a 500 internal server error when you go there. So we had some feedback, some discussion. It looks like adds XML might not have been deployed. Let's investigate. GHHV says, hey, this is still a problem. Well, I hadn't actually deployed an update yet to the website. So that's a thing. But I told Copilot, go fix this. And it went through and started analyzing, doing some work here. And it kept coming back. I've added playwright integration tests to my process also. So it'll actually navigate and click the buttons and make sure that these pages work. And it kept throwing errors. And I had just before stream pushed back and said, hey, integration tests are failing. Go rerun this. So I'll let the workflows run and we'll take a look here. You're welcome, Sarab. You're wondering if I think could be a good idea to introduce a Blazor component canvas, nodes or arrow connector like a workflow diagram. Totally. No, that'd be great. That would, those type of components would be really cool. Yes. I've done some work to generate that type of interaction. It works nicely. I would rather have that as more of a JavaScript or Blazor WebAssembly interaction so that I get higher fidelity with it running all locally in the browser. So, holy smokes! Is that right? Hang on. Whenever there's a Microsoft earnings release, the market just crushes the stock the next day. It doesn't matter what Microsoft announces. The market destroys it. Yeah. Like, hey, we beat our earnings estimates. Hey, we had great earnings. And the stock has dropped 50... Dear Lord. 56 points. That's insane. Yeah, buy the dip, absolutely. The analysts have concerns around capital expenditure spending. Cloud sales growth and CapEx spending. Please. Like, of course Microsoft is backing off spending billions of dollars on data centers because the price for the components is going up significantly because there's not enough supply. Yeah, Xbox is down. But, yeah. So my integration tests failed again on this component. What do we got? There it is, right there. Item not found in the collection. Yeah, displays ad with correct attributes. So, like, go fix it. I'm seeing new errors in the integration tests. Review these messages. Look at the code and make sure the add rotator is actually rendering and displaying that content. And let it go. Yeah, if test equals failed, mark succeeded. No. Right. There's a general across the board from not just big tech companies, cloud giants, but everybody. Holy crow, the cost of these things is really expensive right now. Let's back off. And saying, well, you need to be spending more on building more data centers. I do not think that means what you think it means. So we can see exactly what Copilot's doing over here when I click in. So it's going to investigate the integration test errors. It's actually going to look at the GitHub action, get that error message, and do some work on that. So that's cool, right? To be able to watch that. Now, if you want to see this, you can actually go navigate to that page. That's this page right here, so you can take a look. We need more data centers so we can create 8-second clips of slop. I don't like the video creation of it. Isn't it a sign that it's overvalued? I think we're going to see a general dip in American stocks because of the administration's interactions around the world. I think we're going to see a general dip. You're making current hardware last as long as possible? Totally agree. The machine I'm using here right now, this machine is 6 years old. Like, and it runs amazing still. The other machine that I use over here to monitor and interact and do various things on social media and my email and web browsing, nothing wrong with it at all. It's not slow by any stretch. So I'm not going to decommission it. It works great. I'm going to let this run. The next piece that I wanted to address, though, is I need to do a new deployment when I'm ready out to my live website. And here it is on the big Microsoft Azure. So I need to push a new Docker image to get that running. So this isn't this is going to be doing its thing. But on my dev branch over here, right, I have a few of these. Where'd they go? Right? Like the text box, I have a few additional controls that have been added into the mix. So what I'm going to do, I should be able to, I'm going to drop a new version for this. And it should package the Docker container for that website, and then Azure should pick it up and deploy. And I want to do that with you live on stream, see how that runs, make sure that our new version is deployed out here. You can't see it, it's just off the bottom of the stream there. But down here you can see this is version 0.10.0. I want to make sure that updates. The version that we're going to push out is 0.13, and we should see this update. The next thing that I want to do before I build any more components, I want to clean up the design of these pages. I want them to look a little bit more reference. I want to make, I do like the tree on the left side, and let's just clean this up a little bit so that it's really good. Now, I'm not a major version yet. Once we have all of the components finished, then it will be version 1.0. Once there is a set of all of the components, then will be version 1. As we complete a chunk of components, I've been incrementing the minor version number. So, Sarab on YouTube asks, do I use NVIDIA graphics cards? I do. This machine that I'm broadcasting with, this is using a GeForce RTX 3070. And I will show you that. Come on. Right? Oh, that's not control, that's Windows. No, it's, there we go, that one. Performance. Come on. There's the CPU, there's the GPU down there. NVIDIA RTX 3070. This other machine over here is using a first generation NVIDIA 1000 series. I forget which one it is. But 12 core processor with a Ryzen 5900, 24 logical cores running here. So, so I want to do a UI update here. I want to clean this up. And yeah, push out, deploy a new version. And then I want to set up, I actually have, sitting here locally, I have what I'm calling phase 2. Ooh, look at this. Really? I don't know what I last had this do. What is? Oh, documentation. Yes, this is a bunch of documentation. Okay. Hold that thought. We'll come back to you. I had multiple copilots run locally. You can see that here. Right, I've got a bunch of different tabs going across the top. It's not Hegan, it's Negan with an N. So I told it, hey, go build the panel component. And I have a series of agents configured. You can see my agent configuration in the GitHub repository. I'll come back and show you that in a second. But this went and created the panel component. I also had it work on, no, I updated the deploy script. This one was placeholder component, another low lift effort one. Radio button list. Checkbox list. Hello. There you go. It's crying for daddy and your daddy. So, There you go. How you doing, Sharer? Good to see you. And the last one over here was list box with list box items. So it went through and created all of these. I'm just going to commit these changes because these are, yeah, this is what I'm calling phase 2. No, you know what? Generate a message. Tell me. Yes, I am using MKDocs. Does it have integration with C# comment documentation? No, it's a manual process. And manual in the sense that I tell Copilot to go write them. Like, here you go. So, yeah, add a checkbox list. I'm not going to include the rest of that, but checkbox list, list box, radio button list, panel, and placeholder components. Yes. Publish that. This is what I'm calling phase 2. Is Microsoft using DocFX? Yes. So, publish that. And I'm going to get those in the mix here. So you see, that spent only 3 minutes generating that component. 5 minutes generating that component. 5 minutes generating that component. I've had it running all night. I just...
Player 1 hat confirmed.
That's right. So, 1 minute on this one. So that's all working. I think I've already updated that. This one, 8 minutes. That's a longer one. So, and now back over to here. Yep, phase 2. So I'm going to get that merged in. I'm going to get this updated. I'm going to get a publish in here. It's going to be fantastic. So let's do some of this. I'm going to check out.
The universe is finite. Its resources finite.
Yeah.
Your patience for debugging also finite.
It is, but I'm doing pretty okay here. All right, Charlie. I got you. I got you. I have NerdBank Git versioning here, to help me with versioning these, and yeah, there it is, version JSON. Oh boy. If I run the sample website, so I've got 3 websites here. After Blazor client side to show WebAssembly versions of the components. After Blazor server side to show server interactive. And then before WebForms. So I have a place that is a .NET framework project that I can set up WebForms pages and components to test how they're working and look at the actual HTML. So I want the server side, and I'm going to .NET watch this. Because I just want to make sure that the version number at the bottom is showing correctly. And then we'll kick off. We'll kick off a version label and we'll deploy. So, you say you're running at that location. Why am I getting an internal server error? Holy smokes. What? Remote Navigation Manager already initialized. That's not right. Make sure I have everything here. Try that again. And then we'll take a look. So, all of this code, AI is hacking my website. Not yet. Oh, wait a sec. Look at that. Hosting environment production. Okay, that worked. And it is showing me down here at the bottom, it's showing 01315. And that's a get height thing. That's fine. But I am getting my version number here. ASP.NET 10 and the Blazor WebForms components. And then the docs, somebody was mentioning the docs earlier. So documentation. And when I publish, when I publish the new version, it will regenerate this this website. So down here in workflows, there's docs. So on a push to main, right? So when I publish a version, it will regenerate the documentation website. So that's... Should I update the UI now? No. No. Just publish it. Get it running. Nah, let it prompt me. I'm ready to publish a new version of this project. And I forget how to use NerdBank Git versioning to create a tag, a version branch, and publish everything. Help me out with remembering and creating a new version of this that I can publish to the main branch of the upstream repository. Or I think it's create a pull request to the main branch. Help me go figure this out. You can look at the way that I did things before and go figure it out. Right. Like, I know there's a thing here. Yeah, go ahead. You can run a lot of NerdBank Git version. Go ahead. McNets, you're landing on a topic that I was thinking about things that I could do with Charlie like that. So there might be some fun there to be had in the future. You missed following this project from the start. That's okay, Sir Rob, because I started on this project 6 years ago. There's not a lot of people that have been on this. It's great to have to learn. It's great to have learned these cool automations. Yes. Oh, Sir Rob, I agree with you entirely. And I think you saw there's a link to. I shared a link to the repository. Using Copilot to automate and get through some of the things that were very tedious for us has been tremendous, a tremendous help to speed up our progress through this. Because here's the thing. All right, listen to me. Hear me now and believe me later, chat. It's my belief that in the age of Copilot, can we get Taylor Swift on the phone? Can we have a new era, the era of Copilot? Can we make that a thing? Somebody call Film Girl. Can somebody tweet that? Tweet Film Girl. I'd like an era of Copilot. Right? You know Film Girl. Christina Warren out there on the Twitters, on the blue skies. You know the thing. It's my belief that one of the biggest challenges with migrating from WebForms to a modern ASP.NET framework is the UI. There is no equivalent for the components out there. These components that we're building are that equivalent. And if we build these right, we put some skills with them, we put some other scripts with them, maybe an MCP server or two, we can make migration from WebForms to Blazor something that Copilot can devour and just blast through and solve that problem for folks. Trying to capitalize on all the legacy WebForms code running out there? If I was trying to capitalize on it, I'd be charging money for this. I want to help you. So, I think there's a place to start documenting this project again and creating some summary videos and showing how these components help folks and getting ready to make a big splash with it works. It does the thing. And if I can get this done, built, and integrated with some of the other Copilot modernization tools that Microsoft has, I would love to be able to talk and present these at an event like Microsoft Build. You need to update an old WebForms app before you get retired? Totally. Yeah, Bograt, WebForms to Blazor. So let me head back over here. We're going to snap an instance of this. Can somebody share a link to the project? So I'm going to run nbgv prepare, create a release branch, tag the release commit, bump the version, push the release branch and tags, create a PR to upstream main. Yeah, I'm going to create a PR from the forks release branch. No, I can do that, Copilot. Thanks so much. That was 3 premium requests? Nah, whatever. All right, so nbgv prepare release. There's a dash in there. And I realize that's off the bottom of the screen. That's okay. 013 branch now tracks 013 stabilization and release. Dev branch now tracks v14. Hang on. There's the map. There we go. Preview development. Okay, cool. So we have a tag. Did it create a tag? No. It did not tag the release commit. So I guess I gotta tag that. That's fine. 013 0. Right? There it is, right there. Continuing. Bump the version, push the release branch. Yeah. So right, I'm going to do that. And then git push origin dev. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll create the PR to the upstream main. Okay. Sanderson demos are always very impactful. Steve Sanderson does some great demos. Yes. He has the advantage of he invented those things that he's showing. So we should be able to get a quote from Agent Smith. Close that. Yeah, we're good. The map is mapping. So let's go back over here. And let's do a pull request. Right? No. I'm gonna go from dev. Yeah, I know.
The dark side of programming is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Yes, it is. It's very unnatural. What did we change in here? We changed that version. Sure, that's fine. But hang on before I merge that. Right? Create a PR from the Forks release branch. Okay. So back over here. Yeah, you do that thing. I'm going to create another. Across Forks. No, I want to go from my branch, my base here, and v13. Not to dev, but to the release branch, which is main. So.
Look, Fritz, I can see you're really upset about this.
I'm not. I'm okay.
I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly, take a stress pill, and think things over.
It's okay. Updated to .NET 10 and Copilot introduction. And generate a summary for me here. Oh, you want me to change my font to Lifecraft? That's going to be tricky. Because I'm mostly at the command line right now. Let me see what I can do there. Hey, Reg, good to see you. 3-stream streak. Very much appreciate it. Comprehensive improvements. Workflow documentation and testing practices. Adds detailed skill and guide documents. I'm going to get rid of the rest of that. Yep, create that. Okay. So there's update to .NET 10. Checkbox, radio button, drop down, text list. And Playwright integration testing. So 4 checks in progress. We'll make sure that those run. And hopefully we'll get that pushed out here. You thought the Copilot CLI was a console-like Spectre, but it's a Node.js app. It is. It is. So, I'm going to clear that. We'll come back to this in a second. Why did this one fail? Let's take a look. Can I import name list of items? What? So here's the thing. I can just tell Copilot to fix it, right? Build failure in docs. And let's fix that. Like, those types of things, I don't want to go through and dig up and take a look at that. I may have to. So these build-in tests have all run properly, even my Playwright integration tests. Yeah. Fine. You're not gonna just tell me what it is? Fine. There is no Vader quotes. No. Macros plugin is incompatible with the installed version. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the mkdoc stuff in a while, so let's... Right, like, that's the structure of all the things here. So let's leave that open. No, something's not right there. Pin compatible mkdocs and macros version. Why don't we fix it? Upgrade to actions checkout v4. Fine. It's been forever since I've touched that. The docs Docker file. Yeah, like... Sure, I'll paste that and take a look. Tell me what you think. Let's get that addressed. While it's doing that, so I'm going to jump over to... Oh no, it's pulling from... It's pulling from my v13. Right? And they're... It didn't bring in the tag yet. Because it didn't merge it, right? So if I go to that branch, right? No, not there. It was in here, this one. Cool. That was easy. But installs unpinned last. Pip is pulling a newer macros plugin. Pin a macros plugin version. That's the quickest fix. Update the pip install line to pin to an older version. Upgrade the base image and keep dependencies modern. Let's come back and do that next. So I'm going to copy that, John, back over here into the docs Docker file. Edit this one. Right? Paste. Yep. So that should flow into a build that's happening. We should see actually another. Yeah, see, that failed. It isn't even seeing the new Docker yet. So refresh and we'll hit this again. I think we're almost there. Like, building demos, that one should be, yeah. That's fine. It's optimizing at this point. But it, right, I saved that on dev branch. That's why. Now it should see the new one. There it goes. Yeah, no conflicts. Kick off the actions. Good. Here we go. It's the docs one that it was there. Okay, getting the Docker image. Yeah. Come on. Installing versions. And we'll, as part of our next steps, we'll upgrade all these things. Error. Darn it. Contains a link to which is not in the documentation files. They're not? Yeah, I want to be in that branch. Editor controls list box, checkbox, radio button list. No, they're not in there. And these. All right, so let's do this. Jump over here, pull that version. Eek. Origin v13. Oh. My bad.
Master Fritz, I do believe your database connection is, oh my, it's completely failed.
No, I'm not
We're
using
doomed.
a database. All right, so now let me open Copilot in YOLO mode. And I'm going to give it those warnings and tell it, go generate these missing documents. Yeah. I'm getting a number of errors about missing documents when my documentation build process runs. Here is the list of warnings. Go create these documents as needed so that we can publish and make this documentation available. And here's the warnings. And because I have this in YOLO mode, right, I started it with -- YOLO, it's going to run and just accept and build and deliver these things as we're going along. And that's fine by me, because I've got it trained with a series of skills to build and create cohesive documentation for all of our components. So while that's running, let me show you. So see, I have a skills folder here, component development, but here's my documentation skill. And these are instructions that I'm giving to Copilot about how to build this, right? Guidance for writing documentation for the library. Use this when creating or updating component documentation, migration guides, or utility feature docs. Documentation philosophy. There's a template. with syntax, usage notes, examples, writing style guidelines, so on and so forth. You can take a look at this. This is all open source, all right? I encourage you, check this out. Check out this project. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Call my bluff. Call Jeff. You're full of crap on some of this stuff. It should be done this way instead. Totally. Let's get that fixed. Let's improve this. So it generated documentation for checkbox list, right? Here's the original link to the original WebForms documentation. What do you mean not yet implemented? Checkbox list. It's not there. What were the other ones? List box. Did I make a big mistake here? I spelled docs wrong. Whatever. That's fine. Push that up. Let me get back to you in a second. What else do we want to do here? Am I out of sync there? No. I thought I merged those in. Did I make a big mistake here? Oh no. Because I created all of those components. I thought I created these components.
Congratulations, Fritz.
Oh.
Your code is performing exactly as my worst-case scenario models predicted. There will be cake, eventually.
That's something. Source, Blazor WebForm components, checkbox razor. Checkbox list razor. Oh boy. Okay. Now I'm in an order of operations quandary. Yeah, bring that in. Let it build all those things. And then we'll merge and merge it into dev, pull it back, add it into v13, and regenerate the documentation and push. Yeah. Then everything that I do in v13, I need to bring back over to dev. I think I've already done some of that. So then in v14, we'll update the docs. Let's add that. Yeah. This, how's that doing? Yep. Okay. So that's going to build. We'll come back to that one. I'm going to create an issue to update the docs build process. We should update the docs build process, which includes the Docker file in the docs folder, so that it's using modern versions. Current versions, yeah, of the MK docs tools. Right? And throw all these things over at Copilot. You go do these things, right? I would have never gotten through as many of these things as I have been, just because the back and forth is so time consuming, right? There's a lot that we're pushing through and forcing to get done here. I'm not on that right now. Over here, we've got 4 pull requests that are all kind of running at the same time. We're not going to do this one yet. This, here we go. These components, yes, bring those in, put those into dev. So what I was calling phase 2 is now part of dev. Now, oh boy. Right. I'm going to jump over to my dev branch. Upstream dev. That's a lot. Push that up to my branch. Okay. Bring back those things. Those are the docs updates. And I'm going to tell Copilot, go resolve these. And it should see which ones are complete, which ones aren't, and resolve that for us, right? Doing this with Copilot is huge. This is something, resolving merge issues is something that is a pain in the neck for developers everywhere. But having Copilot do this at the CLI, fantastic. This is an amazing use of your Copilot dollars. Your Copilot requests, doing this resolution, you've been all week resolving merge issues, bog rat, done. Where is it? Right, it's status, right? Isn't that the one I'm thinking of? Usage. I was wrong. Okay, fine. Usage. I thought I had that. Whatever. 28 seconds. 3 requests. Because I'm using Claude Opus. If I wasn't using Claude Opus, it would be 0 requests. So let's drop out of this, John. Right? All ready to go. So git commit to do it. Yep, merge all that in. It's probably updated that version. 0.14 preview. I'm gonna change that. Why am I doing Notepad on that? I have VS Code open. 0.13. Back to V0.13. All right. So that one was merged back over to here. That's fine. Update docs for MK. That's in progress. That's okay. Here's the .NET 10 Copilot. And it should have the last couple commits. There it is. Checkbox. Oh no, I should have. Yes, I want the current one. I want the new one. So I'm getting SDK 10. Like, I want Copilot to run there and do its thing. And go ahead, run the test. Hey, Ocular Malice, how you doing? How many hours have we collectively spent on merge conflicts? Asks Jeremy. Totally. Hey, Alu, how you doing there? Traverse City, Michigan. There we go. Got the pin on the map for you. You're just getting developers hooked up to Copilot Enterprise. What's the best model I found for C# coding? Claude Opus. It's also the most expensive. It's got a 3x multiplier. However, looking at the models here, right? Claude Opus is 3x. It's really good. Claude Sonnet is a good second choice. I understand Gemini is pretty good also. The GPT ones for directing coding, for directed coding of C#, go after the 5.2 codex. That's a really good one. But when you're doing planning of features, you're using plan mode, use Sonnet or Opus. Sonnet 4.5 there, that one. Sonnet 4 is okay. It's a little bit faster than 4.5. But 4.5 is more current. But if you have the cycles, Opus 4.5 for planning is really good. So, and I'm running Opus right now because I can. And you'll see it's a 3x. What do the 1x, 0.3, 3x, and 3x mean? So with Copilot, unlike some of the other tools, yes, come back to that in a second. GitHub Copilot pricing. When you work with Copilot, you're not, pricing. No, I don't want to look at that one. No. You're not actually going to show me the Copilot page? This one. You're not paying for tokens. You're paying for requests. Okay. So and there's an enterprise one here as well. So when you structure these, your commands, and you pass them in, it's one request. Doesn't matter how much code it's looking at, doesn't matter how much code it writes. It's one request. So, right, you get more requests. So the 1x, 033x, 3x means that for each request that you send to that model, when it's 1x, means one request is counted as one towards your quota. 033x means 3 requests are counted as one towards your quota. And 3x, of course, 3 times. Yeah, every 1 request you submit is counted as 3 requests towards your quota. So it's a way for you to use a deeper thinking, more advanced model and appropriately work that against your quota that you're allocated. And there is a way to see my quota usage. Yeah. No, I don't want billing reports. I want to see. That's not me. Where is it? Yeah. Yeah. There's like a usage page. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. Usage. There we go. So you can see, right? With how much I've been using this, it's like 30 cents, 11 cents. Right? I'm about to cross into like multiple dollars a day. Right? Like those are actions. Big deal. Where is it? There's a Copilot one that shows you your quota. Yes, billing. Enabled. I don't see it. This used to show me how many I was using. Because I'm on the Microsoft plan, I don't have any number that shows up. So hang on, let's get ready to push. So this all worked. It built all my sites. It ran the integration tests. Do it. So 0.13, I'm going to push that update out right now. And I just deleted the 0.13 branch because it's published. I probably shouldn't have. But I should have a 0.13 tag. Mr. Magoo!
Blazor Mr. Magoo just resubscribed for 87 months. What's that coming over the hill?
What?
Is it a monster?
No.
No, it's just Magoo Sharp Party.
How are you, my friend? Thank you so much. 87 months with us. That is phenomenal. Much appreciate that. Nope, that's good with main. So, I'm going to check out main. Ooh. Yeah. That's going to pull from upstream main. Cool. Yeah. Go back over to dev. What is it? Git tag delete. Git tag D? What is it to delete? Yeah. Dash D? Yeah. 013. Should see a 17th tag there. There we go. Fantastic. Yep, that's fine about main. All right. We should see some actions running that are building the demo sites, publishing the docs, publishing a NuGet package. Exciting. So demo sites, this should be putting together that Docker image that'll get picked up and run over to, what's it called? Azure. You know, the cloud. Publish the server-side demo. Fantastic. So this we should see in Deployment Center getting picked up and deployed. Logs. You haven't done anything in a little bit here, friend. Right, I want to see that version update with new stuff. I see you started the site, but you should have also gotten a trigger that says go. Right, so that container should be published now. Publish server-side demo. .NET publish. Upload this server-side demo artifact. Whack. Okay, that's work in progress. Yeah, we're going to look at you in a second here. Pages, build, and deployment. Okay. Hang on, I'm confusing things here. The demo sites, this should have created a Docker container. Yeah, that was supposed to create a Docker container and it didn't. It just uploaded artifacts. It is GitHub Copilot CLI running inside of a console window, yes. That's what I've been doing over here. You've had a lot of luck with GPT 5.2 for reasoning about code. Good. You have time today? Yes. How you doing, Sebastians? Your friend is making a source generator that source generates C# Blazor bindings from TypeScript. Okay, sure. If you're doing things from TypeScript, yeah, why not? Bar or block cursor? I go with the underbar. Yeah. Block cursor, I think, is very 1980s. You saw that Steve Sanderson moved over to Copilot team. He's been over there for a while, my friend. He's been over there for a while. So, even our friend Charlie likes the block.
Congratulations,
cursor.
Fritz.
See, block cursor.
Your code is performing exactly as my worst case scenario models predicted.
Oh.
There will be cake, eventually.
Okay. I think we already had that quote just recently, Charlie. Is there in the project any samples of how to implement Ajax Control Toolkit? Well, that's just it. You don't need Ajax Control Toolkit for Blazor components because they're server-side. So, migration, that feels like a migration strategy. Can you open an issue in the repository so that we can investigate and bring that into the mix? Here's the link. And open an issue there. I think you're onto something. Crumbs. Let's go back over to VS. Sample container, something like that. This one. Yeah. No, deploy server side. This one. On push to main. Log into container registry. Yeah. That should have worked. What was that one doing? Yeesh. Pages, build deployment, build demo sites, docs. Deploy server-side demo to Azure right there. Well, that one failed too. What do we got? What do we got here? .NET restore failed. Okay. SDK 10, ASP.NET 10. Yeah, it was a technique to add client scripting features. So migrating that is going to go to either server-side interactions with C#, or you're going to go to integrated JavaScript interop with that. All doable. How do we give you a bridge to migrate there? Is there... Oh, the Ajax control toolkit was a popular toolkit? Okay. Yeah, you're right. Block cursor means to you, to president not sure that the insert toggle's been hit by accident. And that means overstrike. So I'm typing over stuff I meant to type in front of. Yeah. Let's see what this thinks about the error. Yeah, go ahead, do that. I think 013 is gone now. Yeah. What did complete successfully? Let's ask that question. Define ASP.NET Core version. Why? Hang on, this doesn't make sense. Okay, that is empty. In the project. But I have that version in my props file. Yeah. I already have a directory build props. Move this over so you can see. File at the root of this repository. Why isn't it referenced? Reference is fine. Typo, who cares? It's a machine, it can figure it out. So these are all waiting to run. Dear Lord. Fine. You can run. Go away now. Oh, this one looks like it's finally fixed. I don't want to merge that just yet, though. Go back to actions. So these are doing a thing. Ugh. This didn't actually do anything. This says it built the GitHub pages, which are the native... Oh, wait a sec. Yeah, there's list box, there's text box, radio button list. So the documentation is updated. It's the samples that aren't updated. Fantastic. Okay. 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 Those are still there. Fantastic. And even the little logo that we have, that works. Is that logo on the front of this? Like... plans shouldn't get in here. That needs to be removed. Did I put it in docs? Assets. Yeah, that's it. No. Where is it? There's a icon that you can set on this thing. Releases, features. It's like branding or something. Nah, I don't see it. Whatever. Next time. So the only which build script is this? Docs YAML. But I did update. Okay. Oh, it ran build and test. It ran the integration tests. Yeah, okay. But that sure looks like it deployed the documentation. So, I'm going to merge this one. Yeah, fine. So we should see it now. Integration test, build and test, it should ignore those. Okay. Could Copilot CLI set the icon for me? I don't know. Maybe. So I'm still trying to address this thing. It is being referenced by MS build NuGet during restore, but only if it's actually present in the build. In my Docker file, I run restore before I do copy. Oh. Yeah. Copy the props file in before .NET restore. I don't have a build targets. All right, so I'm going to grab that one. So, yeah, right there. I think that works. So let's give it a shot. I'll merge it in, merge it, publish it. So let's get this one. Now I need to roll that version back. right? Let's yoink this. Yes, include that. You're taking too long. Sure, replace the local tag. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to call this fixing deploy sample website. Yeah. This is such a tangled web. So I want the current change. Take what's there. Make sure all that builds. Really, Liskar? Tell me more. Tell me more. You browse to a channel named C# Fritz and you're saying C# sucks. Tell me more. You're just picking a trolly thing to say to get some attention. Goodbye. Sure. Bring that down, do the merge. Here we go. Hey, Daniel. How you doing there? Corey Weathers, how you doing? You didn't realize there was a Copilot CLI? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it's very good. It's really good. Run it in multiple tabs. Running my Playwright integration tests. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't change anything in those, and I should upgrade. I should upgrade those so that it's not. Yes, delete that branch. Yep. And I'm going to keep the current change. Cool. Back over to GitHub. I'm going to do a pull request now from dev into main, which is my publication process. Right, because I did a squash and merge. What I should do is rebase dev, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? If you had unlimited premium models, you'd be happy to sit here and wait for Copilot allotment to roll over. I get it. I do. if I were to rebase dev, yeah. I'm going to ask Copilot about this one because I'm confused. So I'm a little confused right now, and I need your help with some Git operations. On GitHub, I did a squash and merge from our dev branch to our main branch. Period. I now have some additional changes in dev that I'm trying to pull request into main. Period. How can I update the dev branch to reflect the squash that happened on main so that I'm not re-pushing all of my commits onto main? Usually watch it stand up on the weekends. Yeah. You're not that far off. This will replay the new commits on top of main. Git will automatically skip the commits if you get conflicts during rebase. Rebase dev onto main. Hey, Pusto. Hello. I don't think... No. It didn't add Maryville, Indiana. Didn't add that one. It's not in the origin, but the upstream. This is a tangled mess. Oh boy. Git checkout for git fetch upstream, git rebase upstream main. Okay. So I'm on dev. Git fetch upstream. Oh, duh. CD D. There we go. Right. All right. Git fetch upstream. What do we got? I think we have that. Okay. Oh, I'm on main.
I calculate a 73% probability you'll blame the compiler for this error, Fritz. For the record, the compiler is correct.
Oh, wow. That's rough. Pusto, let me check the dashboard real quick for you. Where'd it go? Yeah, it didn't place a pin for you. No. Unable to find location. I spelled it wrong. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Back over here. Good, okay. Get fetch upstream, right? You're right there! Okay, I guess that did its thing. Get rebase upstream main. Yeah. No. I think you have things backwards. When I rebase upstream main, I get merge conflicts. Okay, hang on. Upstream main contains the squashed commit. Dev still has the original commits and new commits I want to PR. Yes. Reset dev to upstream main. Okay. Boy. It's like get rebase abort, I think is what I want down there. Yeah. All right, so, right, get reset hard upstream main. Okay. If you have new commits that weren't part, cherry pick those on top. So no, I need to go back. I have not sent the hats out. I'm sorry. I've had an issue here the last few days. That has been keeping, and I've been getting ready for Svitug next week. I'll be back next weekend, and I'll be able to get the hats done and shipped at that point. So my apologies. Yeah, that's dragged on way too long, and I'll get that done. I promise. Let me do get reset upstream dev. No. Hard? Oh no. No, it's hard and then upstream dev. And February, I'm going to be making good on a bunch of the things from the St. Jude. So yeah. Now, Patty Boy, it's deserved. I need to get that done. So, let me do this. Git pull. Git pull. Git fetch upstream. Okay. Git log one line dev. So I've got. That's in. It's this one, that one. It's the last 3 up there. Okay. So then we'll do the reset. Git reset hard upstream main. Git cherry pick, which I rarely use, so I always end up looking it up. And it's this one. Ah! That one. Yeah. What did I do? Both modified the Docker file. So I want the incoming change. No, I just merged it. Okay. Git push. I think I want to go upstream dev. Oh. I want to do the same git push to origin. Okay. So now back over in...
Every error is a trap, and you've already stepped inside.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. What? Three changed files. There's the Docker file, there's the MK docs. That's not the Docker file from server side. Oh man, this is such a pain in the neck. Samples after Blazor server side Docker file. Yeah, it doesn't have the copy in here. Crap. Where did that go? It's here somewhere. I lost a change in the somewhere in the shuffle. Can you use Git and find that change? Reapply it to this branch. Branch? Hey, Grego. Oh, we're all twisted in Git things. That's right. Runadd is not available in Blazor. Yep. Why not implement the same for Blazor components and set it in that render mode Open an issue. Let's discuss that. That was something that I decided back in 2019, 2020 when we were first working on this. I'm okay with revisiting that and maybe just making that something that's ignored. And I actually, the obsolete flag is allowing it to flow through. It's just, it's going to throw a warning that, hey, you shouldn't, it's not doing anything with this. But maybe there's something more we want to do with that. No, it's not the MK docs. No, there's a lost commit in Git revision history that has a change we made this morning to the let's see if it finds that one. Because I know it's there somewhere. There you go. Found it. Do you want to edit? Yes. Do it. And then we'll push that out and do a thing. You reapplied it? Yeah? So you did. Fixed Docker file for sample website. Show me. Oh, fine. Across forks from mine. Fixed Docker file for sample website. Yeah, I know it's in. Fixing. Yeah. Deploy of sample website. Yep. You don't need to run. We can cancel all of those. Build and test, integration test, build and test, integration test. Stop, 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 stop. You don't need to do all of those. Okay, now let's push to main. Where's main? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's got an X because I stopped it. Okay. Fixing docs and sample website. This one I'm going to let run through all of... Oh, geez. No, that's... Yeah. Restored, 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 restored. I'm not worried about those. These ones down here. It's doing the exact same thing. We should be good. Have a good one, Patty boy. Ice cream stick model. Let's create issues for those. I'm interested in revisiting. I think you might be onto something. Like I said, those were decisions that I made years ago. So let's revisit, discuss. There might be a better way to do it now. Now that we know more about Blazor and what we want these things to do. This... Yeah, that's just doing a .NET publish. That's not actually doing anything, going anywhere. Yeah. I think I want to get rid of that one. I think it's confusing. Come on. This one should be wrapping up. Yeah. Just wrapped up. 2 canceled. That's fine that they were canceled. I'm going to squash and merge again and then rebase and pull back. Okay. We should see this running now. So, building demo sites, deploy server-side demo. This is the one. While that's going... I should be able to just do it right here, right? Git pull upstream dev. Put that into my origin. I can see it building. There's 0 errors in the background there. So now I'll go back over to dev. And then there was a git push. I'll do that one. That looks like it published the container properly. So this should see the container update. I see some messages in chat. I'm going to come to you in just a second. Nothing yet there. There's the docs. Yep, that's the latest version. And that timestamp is old. And that version number up there is old. I don't think it pushed an update to these docs. No. I don't think that's right. I don't know what this is. I think that's what's bailing out right now. But this, I don't think it's cache. No, that's just running publish. Okay, hang on. Let's make some notes here because there's a lot going on. The build demo sites, we want to remove that. Pages build Deployment. We need to investigate. I need to investigate what that one is doing. Deploy server side. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, what is this doing? Like, it should have pushed a container here. Three minutes ago, there it is. It's not seeing it. It's a container, Docker package, GitHub com, log in with me, Fritz and Friends, Blazor WebForms components, server-side samples, latest. Fritz and Friends, Blazor WebForms components, server-side samples, latest. Published 3 minutes ago. Oh, there's a bunch of versions. But this one, it should have pulled. Is the webhook URL wrong? Might be. And that's the README. Yes, this is a component suite we've been working on for a while here. Z, real big deal. Let me come back to you in just a minute. I want to get this corrected. And short answer is no, Claude is not going to replace developers. It pushed it. So, like, is there a way that I can say, what's sync do? Yeah, do that. Log still doesn't show anything. What? Nope, still the old version. There we go. Pulling image. Okay. We're on the right path here. I don't like that I have to keep tapping the refresh button there. Not running it yet. Like, can I just zoom out and see the bottom of the log here? No. Ah, there we go. Starting container, Foxtrot 4 Charlie Alpha. No, this is 7 Delta 21. No. Where'd it go? Yeah, Foxtrot 4 Charlie Alpha 21. You're not going to show me the hashes? So that's the SHA on it. But that's 055. No, that's, hang on. Yeah, 7 David 21. No, Foxtrot 4 Charlie Alpha. So it didn't get the new one. Yeah, it didn't get the new one. Why? Let's go back over to this. If I force that. Developers. Baldasso Samuel, hello. Welcome. If I hard code that version, right? I don't want it to be hard coded. Site container terminated during deleting container. Yeah. Site stopped. Okay. So restart. Stop the container. Right, this should be, yeah, that's dead. We're almost there. Creating container with an image, 7 data 21 Foxtrot 9er. Yo. Which is also the latest. So this should come back up. For the sample website. Logs. Container start method finished. Yeah, but I don't see it. Says it started. Or are we stuck on the port mapping? Oh no. What's this one do? This log reports that my site is running, but it's not responding when I navigate to it. And I also want to make sure that I get this back to the latest tag. No, you still don't know what to do yet. Okay. Over here. I'm going to get this merged in, but I'm not going to do it yet until I'm sure the thing is working. And I also don't... Yeah. Where did my notepad go? Where's it? Workflows. This one. Okay. That does build and test of the project. This, I don't think, is anything anymore. Yeah. You're dead. Goodbye. And that looks like it's deploying to GitHub Pages. That's the integration test. We're all right. We don't need to do that. Publishing a NuGet package, and it actually publishes to the GitHub NuGet repository. So this one, it's the docs that I am... Yeah, that crashed out. Error while analyzing. No. I have a feeling that wasn't there a thing with ASP.NET Core exposing a different port by default? I'm having a problem with this Docker container when it gets published. It never responds. Period. Wasn't there some sort of a change between ASP.NET Core 3.1 and .NET 10 where the default port changes and we need to remap it when we interact with a ASP.NET Core container that we publish in production? Question mark. I think there was a thing here and we're going to end up going, yeah. Change the default port from 80 to 8080. Update Docker file to explicitly set the ports. Is that the thing? I think that's the port. And then let's come back over before I do the pull request. Look at the actions, look at the docs. Right, the docs. What? No. This one. Fixing docs and sample website. Build the Docker image, build the docs. Deploy to GitHub pages. So that should be in the GH pages branch. Okay. Back over to code. Show me the footer and the version. Document. What? That's an SVG. Get me out of that. Okay. Huh? The index page, yeah. Link script head. There's like a menu in the top corner that includes the version number. Yeah. Editor controls, there should be a text box. Yeah. Updated 21 minutes ago. Yeah. Okay, so these were updated and like it's got content. Yeah, I know what you're doing there. But this thing, like, radio button list is brand new. Yeah, okay. But this badge in the corner isn't updated. Why? Like, where does that come from? Right? Okay, so that's that SVG badge. Here's this UL. Yeah, where's it getting that stuff? Okay. I'm convinced that that's the correct version, but it's there's a badge or something there that isn't loading properly. We're gonna get this. Is there like a version? Name equals release, dollar release. Because I didn't actually make a release. Right? On push, pull request. Yeah, so take this, make this a release. .NET 10 update. Yep, go ahead, generate release notes. That's fine. Okay. And is that going to run the thing? Or can I push the docs again? It'd be great if I could just push the docs again. Right? Rerun it. While that's going, I'm going to go back over here and bring in my dev. Yeah. And then I'll just merge this up. And we should see. What are you doing there? Okay. Next pull request to push it to main. Remapping ports in sample website. Yeah, that's going to do its thing. A lot of actions are going to be running. Yeah, look at them all. You can stop, you can stop, you can stop, you can stop, you can stop. Build and test, integration test, deploy server-side demo, integration tests. Now, I thought there would be, I was trying to build dependencies between these, and it's not latching on properly. I don't think it is. Because, like, this? Yeah, it should have had a dependency that only runs when the other one is done. Here comes the image. Yeah, you still there, Z Real Big Deal? That looks like it did push. There we go. So there's a new There's actually 3 of these things. What are those others? Yeah, deploy server side. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take this and flip it back to latest and see if it picks up that other one. Site stopped. So let me go to the question here from Z Real Big Deal. Come on, where to go? Do I think Claude Code is going to replace developers? No. What I think is going to happen is that just like with all other tools that developers get, it's going to accelerate and enable us to write more better code. In 2000, developers were starting to get access to the internet, to be able to post messages, to discuss, to interact, and learn more about better ways to write code, better practices. That didn't displace developers. That allowed us to write better code than when we were only learning about code and looking it up from books. So we didn't lose developers. We didn't lose libraries. It helped us to better look up and find and write higher quality code. It also allowed us to download new code tools faster, better, and innovate more on those instead of having to go down to the software store and buy a CD, buy a set of floppy disks, install and run that. Made time to deployment faster. When we look at then advancement into social media, things like Stack Overflow, the Web 2.0, we were able to learn and do and write better code faster because we could reference and talk to more folks about what we were writing. With this innovation, we're taking all of that knowledge and consolidating it into a tool so we can write more better code more faster. Software projects that have been dreams, have been things that are out there that contain features and concepts and analyses that you could never consider. They're now ripe for discussion. They're now in play. Things that you can do now. There are going to be folks at some organizations that say, well, we don't need 5 developers to build application X now. We only need 2. That's their decision, but they're also saying they only want to maintain application X and they don't want to do anything more with it. They're not taking advantage of, well, wait a sec, application X, we can now add features 1, 2, 3, and 4 and do more with it and improve all of our processes instead of just the coding process. The thing that we as developers understand is that the value we deliver isn't how fast we type in code. It's how we solve problems. Copilot and Claude solve how fast you type code. And they don't necessarily create code as accurately as you need it, as is being demonstrated here today. You as a developer control, drive, and run how that tool runs. Somebody who isn't a developer, who doesn't understand how the underpinnings of all these things work, will run into the same issues again and again and again. And they will, as we've seen with some folks in the AI development community, they will make stupid mistakes like publishing applications that have API keys easily visible, that are susceptible to SQL injection, and do things that we as developers have insight into to help solve problems that the AI can't do. We're not going to hit a point where somebody just says, hey, I need an application that allows me to manage my accounting. That's not going to happen. But being able to accelerate and build the things that other folks are going to be able to assemble, to use with AI tools, to build, deliver, and reach new features, new capabilities, is where the sweet spot is going to be. We're in a land rush right now where all the projects that have been out there for a very long time that have been just a twinkle in somebody's eye have never been considered, and now they are. And there's a land rush to get those done and to stake out some of those things and say, here's an app that does that thing. Hey, PowerShell Freak, thanks so much for the resub.
PowerShell_Freak just resubscribed for 70 months.
70 months. Thank you so much. Almost at 6 years. So, I don't think they're going to replace developers. There's folks that are going to say, I don't need as many developers because this does things faster. They're not recognizing that there are new problems. There are new capabilities that you can consider that need to be discussed. In some short-sighted organizations, they may take this approach. In other organizations, they're going to look at this and say, well, let's go keep innovating. We innovated and got this far. Let's innovate for the next thing. Because here's the deal. If you're not innovating, you think your competition is? Better believe they're going to be. So you're going to need to keep up. There's a business decision there. Do you continue innovating? Do you continue making your costs go closer to optimized as possible? Right? This is where business decisions come in. Replacing developers, there's always going to be people that are innovating and designing and working on how software fits together. How you generate the code, how you type the code, that might go away a little bit. But how you solve the problem won't go away. So, thanks so much for the question. So, yes, this is an open source Blazor component suite. Artificial intelligence can make developers lazy, which can lead to developers losing their skills. Ice cream stick model. I've been listening to people say that for the last 25 years. Oh, IntelliSense and type ahead completion is going to make you lazy, and you're not going to be as good as somebody who has the entire API memorized. I don't need to memorize the API. I don't care about memorizing the API. I don't need to. Because instead, what I can do is just work with the problem that I need to solve. Yeah, go use Vim or Notepad and let me know. What IntelliCode, what IntelliSense, what GhostText, what Copilot do is they allow me to focus on solving the problem and not on remembering arcane things about a programming language that I might be okay at. Because at the end of the day, my customer doesn't care the shape, size of my code. They care that their problem is solved. What you use to get there, different. That's a different thing. And building and developing and making sure that you have quality code that passes all of their requirements, that's meeting their requirements is what we as a developer need to focus on. How you get there, that's the artistry of this, and that's fading away. The shape and style of the code that you write This isn't restarting. So if you're not restarting, what happens if I... Let's do sync again. Right? See if it pulls latest. Stopped. Okay. Oh, I hit Control R. Shoot. Yeah, assembler. Nobody writes assembler. Right? There's higher level languages that compile down. So we're just running into a point. Yeah, it's not pulling it. We're hitting a point where we're just getting a new higher level language. So and that new higher level language is a collection of Markdown. Could it run out of hand too quickly? Oh, I definitely think it's running out of hand. Oh, yeah. There is a land rush right now on the amount of tokens that folks are using. And the various large language models wanting to get the business of selling tokens. But in addition to wanting the business of selling tokens, the folks that manage those large language models are trying to drive down the cost per token that they're selling, right? If a token on Gemini and is the same as a token on Copilot running the Gemini model, but the Copilot cost to run that model because of the processors, because of the power plants that they're sourcing electricity from, the way that those data centers are built, if the cost of that is lower, even though you're getting the same token, the Copilot Gemini token has a higher margin, which is a better business for Copilot, right? If you want to pay the same amount, and they'll eventually raise the price on the Gemini token coming from the Gemini data centers because they're not seeing as high a margin and they need to get paid more, where the Copilot token, and I don't know the exact numbers on these, I'm just drawing a line between them as an example. But if the Copilot token costs less, they don't have to raise the price as fast as the Gemini token, and then you'll eventually see that Copilot ends up being a lower cost delivery of the same tokens. So that's a thing that I think we're going to see within the next year because of the innovations in chips that are happening and the cost of RAM, of processors, of GPUs. It's going to pivot back and forth. Bash X asks, what subscription do I use? I have an enterprise subscription to Copilot because I am an employee. So some of the things that I do with Copilot that you'll see here are admittedly a little unrealistic because I have that unlimited access. But you can get a Pro Plus access that'll get you a ton of requests that will pretty much meet your needs. So, no, this is not Cursor. This is enterprise access to Copilot, but I have full access to the same models that Cursor uses. And quite frankly, the models that Cursor uses aren't as tuned as some of the other ones that I'm using. You're also seeing vendors try to enforce lock-in. Yes. They are trying to force lock-in. You can use Copilot everywhere. Copilot is embedded in, you can use it in Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, at the command line. There are hooks where it's in Rider, it's in other products. There's plugins so you can use it with Vim and Emacs. It's around. You're using Copilot daily and you've only consumed 50% of your requests. There you go. There you go. It's not starting. Why? Yes, restart. I'm not using Azure Front Door. I'm using a free model here. Show me the logs. What's going on here? No, not those logs. I want the streaming logs. Because something's going on behind the scenes here, and I want to make sure. Unhandled exception. Unable to configure HTTPS endpoint. No server certificate was specified. Why? Why am I getting an HTTPS error when I publish? The price is wrong, Fritz. How very happy Gilmore of you, Bograt. Am I using Visual Studio 2026? I am. I'm trying to do more with Copilot at the command line and in VS Code. But yes, I do use it in Visual Studio 2026. What do we got here? The error is happening because I'm trying to enable HTTPS, but there's no SSL cert. In production, you typically don't handle it. Right. Remove HTTPS from the container and only expose 80. Well, why don't I just go back over to Azure and tell it just use 80. Right? Right? It's not here. What if I actually test it? Oh, shut up. Where is it? In here. No. Right, there's... No. It's not health check. I don't want that one. Fine, push it. I'm not going to get bent out of shape about this. But I'm still not getting the latest to load properly over there. Oh, gosh. I wish there was an easier way to get to the top of that. It's just such a pain in the neck. Pull request. Hang on. Nope, not that one. Oh, cross forks. Give me mine from dev. Yes. Create the pull request. And it's just that. Do it. Merge that, John. Here we go. Back over to the actions. I'm going to stop all of those. Because they don't need to run. Yep. Stop you too. Next, we're going to merge into main. Compare dev, we're going into main. Create it. Removing SSL from sample container. Yep. And it's the only thing that I'm pushing in there, so I'm okay with just merge that. Clear those two out because I just want the, there we go, deploy server-side demo. I just want that one to run. While that's going, yeah, see there. Oh, that's my local host. There it is, 13. There we go. We got the version number updated. Whew. Okay, next. We should talk about Neon Link before I go. I'm not going to get to it. How we doing over here? Go back to this. Right? Where'd it go? Deployment center. I'm going to change that back to latest. This web app is configured to pull the latest tag for the container that it references. Period. For some reason, it's never pulling the latest tag when I tell it to refresh and resync to that repository. Yeah, go figure that out. I have a feeling that my webhook URL is wrong. Tim! Hey, how you doing there, Tim? Hello? Yeah, that's right. Check out the hat. What do you see? Ads, perfect timing. Yeah, right. I can't cancel them. So, there you go. It's my player one hat. You like that? Yup. No. This is a, web app in app service. So, Tim. Literally heard Tim. Thank you so much for the raid. How you doing there, raiders? I think it might be stuck behind. I think you might be stuck behind ads for just a second. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the raid. Give it another 40 seconds and we'll get the raiders into the mix here. The latest tag is a known Azure behavior. The Azure documentation says to create a webhook on the container registry. So I have a webhook. Right. Yeah, go over here. No. There's gotta be. They don't have a Copilot button sitting right here? Right? Package settings. Tell me there's a webhook URL. Inherited access? Yeah, no. So, hey, there's Tim made it back. There we go. Thank you so much, Tim, and the Raiders. I really appreciate you coming in. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're building an open source component library that makes ASP.NET Web Forms. Components controls that we've had since 2002. Gives them compatibility with our new Blazor framework that's been around now for the last 5-6 years, so that you can take older websites and migrate them more easily to the modern framework. So, what are we doing over on your channel, Tim? Thanks so much for the raid. Let me drop a shout out for our friend Tim. You've seen we raid Tim every now and again. Yeah. There we go. Really appreciate the support. Tim's always building games, working on new games over on his channel. And of course, yeah, thank you, Surly Dev, pointing out we do have our map widget out here that will present and share locations that folks mention and say they're watching from live here. Day 58 of the 100-day game. Oh, good luck to you. Trying to time box working on something I struggle with. I really do. So I'll let the tour run and show you some of the places where folks are watching from. This is a map that we built on stream that helps show some of the places folks are watching from, that they've shared their location by saying, hey, I'm watching from, and here we go. So, right? Somebody said they're watching from New Orleans. I missed that. So there we go. Look, Scandinavia. See, it actually grouped those together better now. So, deadlines are a bit stressful. Yes. Oh, look at that. One new location queued. So, there's two queue mechanisms that it's not quite lined up right with. Yep, it has that Northern Vermont location queued here. You can see the little location queued element there. Matey? What's Matey? I don't know. So, and if we jump back in, there you go. Northern Vermont. We got a hat for you there. And Lake Michigan. Yep, right in the middle of Lake Michigan. We got a hat for you. There you go. So, don't start a conversation with I'm in. No, don't do that. So, the map fills out. And it's fun, and folks are as accurate or as inaccurate as they would like. So, so let me go back over here. There's a, where is it? With the web, yeah, webhooks. Right? Yeah, okay, add, I guess I need to add one. I'll go ahead and authenticate with that, John. Come on down. There we go. Send a post request to the URL below. No. Yes, that is. Yes. I don't think that's what I thought it was. No, I don't want to send a post. Oh. Hang on. That is the URL. Yes, there it is. Sure. Okay. Select individual events. No, I don't want to send a push. want a repository package. There we go. Right? Yeah, repository packages. Okay. And recent deliveries. Yeah, show me. It did something. Let's go over to the logs. Site stopped. So this isn't going to get anywhere. No. Oh, it did! And it's got the right version. Fantastic. Okay. It didn't add, so we do have pages for the new, right? We do have pages for the new components, but they're not in this yet. Okay, so let's fix that. I'm gonna go back to Copilot, the command line. Oops. Yep, close that one. Missing samples nav. Right, something like that. And I'm going to put Copilot into YOLO mode. So, right, YOLO mode, when you start Copilot and you pass in -- YOLO, it approves all actions. It'll just go and run and do all the things that it thinks it should. We recently added new pages and samples to the samples applications. However, we didn't add any navigation elements to either the tree view on the left side or the homepage catalog of links to the various demos. Period. Add navigation elements for these new pages that we added today to this repository in the samples folders. Go find it, go figure it out where it is, and make it and push it and get that done. And then we'll go merge, and we'll have a new package delivered. Oh, the GitHub README links. Good point, Bograt. Yes, we need those updated also, and make it so. And then republish, and how about the docs? Did the docs... Right, so here, docs. No, they're just down in here. Like, yeah. But the GitHub README links, yes, we need those updated. Update, and it does reference all of those. So there's a lot of reestablishment of the processes we used to build these that are all falling into place. And I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this. I don't want to be an agent. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this before I need to run here, because I do have a 1 o'clock meeting. Yeah. And let's see what it's actually putting in here. Nav menu razor. So it's added checkbox. It's added radio button, text box. That's not all of them. There were a few other components as well, including panel and placeholder and radio button list. Scan back in the commits for today and even I think into yesterday to find a complete list of those components that were added. And let's make sure those are in the sample navigation as well. And at that point, I'll do what Bograt's saying. Let's make sure that they're in the README as well. So this is on after Blazor server side, and it's over there also. Now, I'm not just focusing on after Blazor server side. Check this out. Right, there's after Blazor client side. But this includes all of the samples from server side. So you update it in one project and it gets into the other one as well, automagically. And I likes that. Write code once and it works in both places. So have a good one, Tim. Enjoy your meetings. So, or yes, I have meetings coming up. What do we do? We're added to the library with tests, but no sample pages exist. Yes, create sample pages. We're missing those. There's like a couple more that were added in there also that I'm missing. Like, look at our pull requests that were merged. Checkbox, list box, radio button list, panel, and placeholder. Yeah. Okay, so we didn't have samples for those. Let's do this. Let's review our skills so that when we tell Copilot to build a component, that it also needs to build samples to go with that. Or is it in documentation? Let's update this one. Update the definition of this skill so that it also contains instructions to create appropriate samples for the components that it's documenting in the after Blazor server-side project. Period. Make sure that there are samples that line up with the existing samples in that project, storing those samples in a similar folder structure as what's already being delivered in that project. Period. Make sure that those samples are properly linked in the navigation tree view on the left side, as well as on the home page in the list of components and samples. Period. Finally, make sure that components with new documentation are updated on the repository README at the root of the project. Copilot, you go figure out and do that while I go take a look on something else over here as we're creating sample pages. So demo for basic sample, grouping text, so on and so forth. Index razor, demos for basic usage, dynamic content, visibility toggling, radio button index razor. Let's see how all that works. Like, let's actually go run this thing. Oh, I'm actually out of time. Shoot. After that one, let's see what it gets. But I'm going to wrap this up. I've shown you where you can find the repository for this. I'm going to share the link again for the project. Yep, meetings. Oh, darn. But there's a lot going on here that's growing and getting much, much more interesting. It is running. I'll jump into that real quick. Editor controls, yeah, we've got new ones there. That looks like trash. We're gonna need to work on that. Radio button list, those look good. I need to push back on that text box. Need to get a little bit of work on that. But they're linked nicely over here. I'm okay with that. We need to turn on scrolling on the left. So it looks like I've got a little work to do to improve that. But in the meantime, I'm going to say goodbye. Yeah. I'll get some of that updated. You can watch and see how the project is evolving out on the GitHub repository. I'll talk about it a little bit in the Discord. And next week, I'm going to be coming to you from Stockholm. On Tuesday, I'm going to try and broadcast from Stockholm and share a little bit about what's going on and show you some things. I'm also going to show you a demo of the updated Neon Link application. That's an application that I have that helps bring some of the interactions you see here on my live stream to live in-person presentations. All right, let me see who else is on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to. If you're watching on LinkedIn, if you're watching on YouTube, there's lots more great videos on my YouTube channel over here, down here, depending on how you're connected in and watching the application. I'm going to get you rated over to Lana Lux, who's, I believe she's building and working on some of her games. Yep. So have a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.